Yo, what's up, everybody? Smart Reese once again back with another preview, and we got Rogue today. She's coming in strong. I think this one was predicted by a lot of people. Once I think it was Storm. Once she was announced, we was like, all right, we see the direction we're going. And then once Gambit was announced, I think a lot of people were super excited about it, which means you can't have Gambit without Rogue. So I think we all were looking forward to this one. Or maybe we all kind of predicted it. But either way, I'm excited that at least both the community and the designers are in tandem with what we're looking for when we talk about the X-Men, right? Like we have some of the more signature characters that we're able to play with, and then we can just go crazy from there. We'll see where it goes from there, especially with this next cycle, which I think will either be mostly or all X Force, or maybe a mixture of X Men and X Force, and see what the big bad looks like. But let's go ahead and hop into this one. So we're starting off on the first card. It's her hero identity card, or I guess her hero side. So she's got the 222 stat line. Five hand size, 11 hit points. That automatically puts her in the A tier. I don't know what it is about this stat line of 222 and having at least like 10 hit points. Like this historically has spawned some of the best heroes in the game. And I mean, you can go look at it. A lot of the heroes that are considered extremely strong typically have the 222 stat line across it, and the more you go up in hit points, the more value that they are. So this is kind of nice because 11 is one of those numbers where you feel relatively safe taking a few hits if need be to preserve some allies or whatever that you got going on. So that automatically puts her in a pretty strong tier, but we'll see what the rest of her kit looks like before I start making too many outlandish claims. So her hero ability, so skin and contact, action, attached, touched to another character. You gain each of the attached character's traits until the end of the round, limit once per round. Force response after the player phase begins, find touched and set it aside. So before getting into touched, I guess it works similarly to Valkyrie's Death Glow, where she can puts it on, or she can put it on any enemy, but it won't come at a cost, as you was about to see, which is kind of nice. I just hate how they did my girl, man. I love Valkyrie in this game, but oh my goodness, touched. So this is the upgrade that was mentioned on the previous card. So let's see. If touch is attached to a minion, rogue's attacks gain overkill. Villain, rogue gains retaliate one. It's good. Ally, rogue gains the aerial trait. She got access to a lot of cards, and then hero, rogue gains stalwart. So what? Man, that's actually kind of crazy. So what makes this card amazing is the amount of things that she have access to. So not only does she have the the broken tier stat line, but she also have access to a lot of things that some people either struggle to get or don't have at all. So stalwart, there may be what, another one or two heroes that have access to this. The only people that come to mind are is Nebula. And then you got the upgrades in the basics where it gives all the 14 hit point characters and up stalwart, but or maybe it's steady. Oh, so it may be just Nebula, I think. Sheesh. Yeah, there's not a lot of heroes that have access to this. Ariel, you start to see it a little more. Like she has not she. Ariel has become more and more popular as the game come along, and they've started to add more heroes to gain Ariel. So as you saw with I can't remember if it was Nova or Ironheart, but one of them had several aerial cards and that help out a lot. The same with, I want to say, Spectrum. No, maybe not because she had leadership. But either way, we're starting to see a lot of aerial cards make their way into the game. So this gives her a lot of value with aerial. We got villain, retaliate. There's not a lot of heroes in the game that has retaliate. So man, she may be like, man, maybe the fourth hero to have access to it, like naturally. Like that's actually yeah, because that's another strong one. Like there's not a lot of heroes with retaliate, so this is another one that she gets access to that a lot of people don't have. And then overkill, in terms of having it in your kit, there's not a lot of heroes that have overkill. Um, but well, I guess there are some that have the like attack events that have overkill associated with it, depending on the situation. So this is probably one of the more common ones outside of aerial. So this gives her a lot of value with being able to move her touched around to be able to get whatever she needs. That's man, that's crazy. So we got going rogue. It's a 2 cost event. Superpower thwart. So it removed 3 threat from a scheme. So far it's pretty run of the mill. But if she has aerial, remove another 2 threat. So that'll be a 2 for 5, which is really good. Retaliate, confuse an enemy. So it'd be 2 for 3 thwart and confuse. That's a lot of value. And then if she have stalwart, draw a card. Yeah. So that's oh my goodness, man. Yeah, she's gonna be ridiculous. So there's a lot of values you can get out of this 2 costs, right? So uh for 2 costs, you can either do 5 threat, 5 threat removal, 3 threat removal and confuse an enemy, or 3 threat removal and draw a card. Like there's regardless of whichever one you have, that just outpaces so many of the threat removal cards in this game. That's crazy. That is crazy. There we go. Southern Cross kind of lagged on me a bit. All right, so this is a 3 cost event. Attack superpower. Like Death Focus is gonna be nice on her. 6 damage to an enemy. If Rogue has aerial, this attack deals another 2 damage. Retaliate, stun that enemy. Stalwart, draw a card. Yeah. So once again, a lot of the heroes in the game that has 3 costs that has 3 costs for a certain amount of damage. A lot of times it's associated with overkill. So you're looking at Thor's attack where it's 3 for 8. Pick up Mjolnir and it deals 8 and overkill. Spider-Man is just a straight up 3 for 8. I think Vision has one that's a 3 for 7 and overkill, I believe. So you're in that range of normally if it's a 3 cost event, it's roughly doing 8 damage and maybe something. But with this one doing 6 damage, it could potentially boost it up to a 3 for 8, which is pretty run of the mill, what we would expect. And then, but for a 3 to do 6 and draw, to do 3 stunning enemy, uh, deal six damage and stun an enemy is really good. And then 6 damage and draw a card is also pretty solid. So this is a decent card. Like it's a card that can either do what you would expect or get a lot of value out of that 3 cost. And once again, it's a superpower, so having Death Focus would make it even more ridiculous. So we got Bulletproof Bell, and the Arden on hers is really good so far. So it's a defense. There go another superpower. Hero Interrupt. So when an enemy with touch attached to it attacks, prevent all damage from that attack and gain a tough status. Oh, that's crazy. That's a lot for one cost. That's a lot for 1 cost. And she probably end up with like 3 of them in her deck too, which would be even more crazy. And she can kind of do it all, man. So just looking at her right now, she'll probably fit in almost any aspect you want her in. Superpower adaptation. 0 cost. Hero action. If touched is attached to a friendly character. Search its owner's discard pile for an event that belongs to the same classification as that character. Same classification. So identity, specific, aspect, or basic. Add that event to your hand. Ooh, so I can't wait for the facts for this to come out because I wonder if that works the same with like Doctor Strange, right? Like, can she just pull off a Winds of Watum and draw 3 cards for 0 cost? Like, if she have touched uh, on him, like, can she pull from his deck his spell invocation deck? Like, that would be insane if she can do that. That's a really good card. I think that should have cost something because I understand that that's getting it to your hand, and I don't know, once you use it, does it go back to? Let me rephrase that. If you don't use it and keep it in your hand, does it stay in your hand? Like that would be kind of wild because it gives you the opportunity to play something somebody already played, right? So if you already use Winds of Watum and this comes out like that's oh my goodness, man. Yeah, that's insane actually. Oh my goodness. So we gotta that's still blowing my mind. So it's a 2 cost event. Energy transfer. Superpower. Attach touch to a character other than rogue and deal 2 damage to that character, which in turn heals you 2 damage and ready you, and then you gain their traits. Yeah, so this is a really good card. Because you can either put it on a ally that has at least 2 hit points because you have to get that 2 damage, right? So you can't put it on an ally or use this while touch is on an ally that have 1 health because you have to be able to pay that 2 damage, right? So it would be wise, in my opinion, to put it on an ally that either has 2 hit points remaining or maybe if you're not playing solo, put it on one of the other players' heroes, especially if they got a lot of health. This would pair well with somebody like Wolverine or even Hulk, who can soak up 2 damage like it's nothing, and it gives you two. It heals you two and then ready you again, so that gives you an extra activation. So that's a lot for 2 costs. That's actually I guess maybe it's a rather fair deal depending on how you choose to use it. That's pretty solid. So we got my boy Gambit as expected. So he's a 3 cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. So that's already like worth. So regardless of what this does, like that stat line alone is worth that cost. And then he enters play with 3 charge counters. When Gambit attacks, remove 1 charge from him, deal damage to an enemy. So he's coming in doing 3. If you can get off 3 activations, that's 3 costs for 9 damage, which is pretty good. That's pretty solid. Oh, Iceman, let's go. So he's a 3 cost protection ally, one of the cheaper ones. Man, those protection allies, bro, it's crazy. So we got a 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Enters play with 3 freeze counters on him. After a minion enters play, remove 1 freeze counter from Iceman, stun that minion. Okay, he's a interesting version of Hawkeye, where Hawkeye just do damage whenever they come in, but this one stuns them, so it doesn't allow them to attack, which is kind of nice. I like that. He could come in with 3. That's not bad. I like that. Judoka skill. So it's got 3 uses. Judo counters. So when you defend against an enemy attack, remove 1 judo counter from here. An enemy gets -2 attack for that turn or for that attack. That's not bad. So for 3 activations, they're hitting for 2 less. That can go a long way. That helps out for people like Ronan, who's about to hit you for 13. He'll hit you for 11 instead. So that, that helps out a lot. But that's actually a cool card. It's kind of nice that in exchange for all those high cost allies that's in protection, you get some really good upgrades that are super cheap that just add so much value to you defending. We got Not Today. So let's see. It's a hero interrupt defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. So like desperate defense. If you take no damage from that attack, remove 2 threat from a scheme. I like that. So that gives you the opportunity to still get some threat removal if you're struggling with that with your hero specifically. Plus pair that with I can't remember the one that removes threat whenever you defend the upgrade. But that's a good one to pair with those because you can ultimately remove like with this card up to like 4 or 5. Yeah, because I think you're limited to 3, and if you have all 3 of them out, yeah, that'd be kind of wild. I like that. Ooh, more Moira McTaggart. Let's see. So Identity has mutant traits, so you're most likely to be an alter ego playing this. After a mutant alter ego changes into hero form, exhausts Moira, that hero's controller gains one card or draws one card. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it allows you to essentially start in hero form with 7 cards, which is kind of nice. I like that. That's a good support. I like that. X Gene. Play only if your identity has a mutant trait. Once again, you're probably an alter ego. Max one per player. Exhaust X Gene. Generate a wild resource for an identity specific event. So far, I think only the X-Men can use this. I don't know that there's a lot of X-Men that have requirements of a specific kind of resource. I'm sitting here trying to think. Maybe Colossus. So this might be a good one for Colossus. Well, let me rephrase that. I think this is good for anybody to be able to generate that resource up in hero form. But man, I think Colossus might be, and I might be wrong on that. I don't think that there's a lot of people that have resource that need a specific resource for their identities. But either way, I think that this is one of the like it's a one cost, low risk, high reward kind of cards because it'll just carry out throughout the game as long as you can keep it. You always got an extra resource for one of your cards. So this will also be nice on Cyclops actually to be able to kind of place out those tactic cards he have because a lot of those are either 0 or 1 cost. So this allows him to play them out pretty handily. So that's actually not bad. Oh, here go the villains that's coming along. Oh, they're doing Reavers. All right. This is kind of um a cool call. Oh man, that's I got I may have to explore this in another video. But I got some thoughts on where they're going with this. But I wasn't expecting this. Looking through these looking through these cards. But anyways, so this is a one scheme, one attack. It's an elite Reaver. There they go with that teamwork nonsense. Villainous. Atrocious. So we got after Donald Pierce engages you, reveal the topmost Reaver minion from the discard pile. Distasteful. So you hope he's like the first one you see in the game. Like you're praying he's the first one. And he got those 3 boost counters. Disgusting. Got Skull Buster. Okay. Teamwork. Toughness. Let's see. After Buster engages you, place 1 threat on that main scheme for each Reaver minion engaged with you. Okay. Okay. Heinous 225. That's gonna be man. They just gonna be sickening when they come out. These are the kind of cards that come out when you don't need them to, and then they just show up right there looking at you. So we got Bone Breaker. So he's a 1 scheme, 3 attack, 5 hit points, teamwork, toughness. Let's see. After Bone Breaker engages you, take 1 direct damage for each Reaver minion. Ooh, they can get ugly if you don't get rid of them. They can get ugly. You got Wade Cole, cool. When revealed, oh, he's a 1, 2, and 3. So search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Cybernetic Enhancements attachment and attach it to him. Yeah, I'm about to say he seemed kind of weak compared to the other ones, but let's see what. So he'd get +1 attack, so that'd put him at a 3 attack. Search. Attached minion cannot take damage. That's a problem. So he has to hit you before he's able to remove it. That's wild. So that's an automatic 3 damage when he comes out. All right. So yeah, that was Rogue set. Yeah, she's gonna be strong as all get out. I think that she has a really good kit so far. Um, wasn't really counting the cards, so I'm assuming there may be another 3 or 4 that we haven't seen yet. But I think that yeah, she's gonna be crazy. I think that her kit, um, yeah, because we haven't even seen her alter ego. I don't even know. Oh, here we go. So we got set your touch upside, upgrade aside after you change this form. Okay, so it's recovery 3. Yeah. So she's going to be super strong, man. It's going to be nice to see. Um, yeah, it's going to be nice to see uh, how this set will affect. Um, because I think this would, I think these guys would be crazy with crossbones. Like I think that would just make that. Oh man, that's gonna be crazy with crossbones. But I think that yeah, she's gonna be one of the strongest heroes right from the jump. Is I think she's extremely versatile. With her being able to get so much out of her touched ability, that gives her access to so much variability as you're deck building. She has options to so many different cards that a lot of people don't have, and it only gets better. She scales extremely well as you go up in player count because you will have the opportunity to play across different teams, which allows her to be able to touch other members to be able to gain their traits, which allow her access to cards that a lot of people don't have access to, and it allows her to be able to play cards that other people can't. Because I mean, just now thinking about it, with somebody like Star Lord, if you touch Star Lord, you might be able to play his Leaders of the Guardian on your side, right? Oh, that'd be crazy. But that actually be a funny one. But I think that she has access to so many different cards. So like you got the honorary Avenger. I think it's the honorary Guardian one. There's a champion one, the Web Warriors. So she just has access to so many different cards, and whenever she touches someone, like it stays there for the end of the round. So if you are playing with a champion and somebody play what's that card, Gopher Champions or something like that, where they don't take damage for the duration of the round, like she gains that, right? And that's yeah. So the deck building possibilities for her is going to be insane. So there's going to be a lot of cool interactions with her coming into the game. She's just going to be so fun to play coming into this game. She's already extremely strong. I think I think she might end up like S tier, and it gets better as she uh, goes up the goes up in player count. Like it's gonna be insane. But let me know what y'all think of Rogue. I think she's just gonna come in just killing it. It's gonna be bad. I'm excited to see what the full protection deck is gonna look like for her, as well as the rest of the cards that she'll have. It's gonna be nice to see what happens with that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think over. Uh, I'm excited to hear some of the things that y'all have to say about it. But that's all I have, and y'all have a wonderful day.